gentlemen, start your engine!
Fucking shit me? Dude, how long you been racing? You've been racing 300 fucking years, you stupid fuck.
Madsen is howling on James McFadden.
It's basically like rebuilding a car basically after the race, where you take all the injectors out, clean all the pistons, everything like that, take the exhaust pipes off, make sure nothing's scorched, everything like that.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Work Area Podcast. This is the driver crew chief season review for Krikke Motorsport. So, as you'll be able to see if you're watching it on YouTube, we've got the double champ Dayne Kingshott and the 2022 Trial E Cup winner Matty Cochrane.
Thanks for having us.
No, all good, boys. Thanks for coming up. Bit of a mission up here, but we got the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series launch tonight. So, appreciate you popping in early and squaring this way. Saves me a trip to Bunbury. How's straight into it, mate? The off season for you, Matty. You'd be busy with the car. What does that look like for you? Like, how much work's involved? Like, what takes up most of your time?
This year was a bit different because we obviously planned to do Darwin. So the season obviously comes up pretty quick when you're starting there. So, and as everyone knows, when you go to Darwin, you can wreck a fair bit of stuff up there as well. So my plan this year was we had some used stuff left over to take up there and use in Darwin. And then I built two new cars to start the Perth season with. So my idea behind it was take the used stuff up there, might not bring back anything, but when I come home, I got two cars to start Perth with. So it was a pretty busy off season to have 4 cars ready for the start of the season.
And what about you, Dane? Your off season, just for you, like what are you doing to get yourself ready for a new season? Is there a fitness regime? Is it just lock away work? What's your off seasons look like?
Well, I've spent a fair bit of time with Matty in the race shop this off season. When I'm not working, obviously I still work full time, so trying to catch up at work a little bit. Racing the dirt carts a little bit as well, which hasn't happened a lot this season, but that's more of just a bit of fun for me. And then, I stay on top of my fitness pretty good, but obviously ramp it up a little bit in the last couple of months and try and get ready for the start of the season.
What fitness do you reckon translates the best? Is it CrossFit, cycling, running? Like, do you have something that you think translates good?
Well, I mean, as you would know, mate, as with someone with kids, it's for me, it's whatever I can fit into my day. So I find running the easiest just because that's what I can fit in. I get home and throw the shoes on and go for a half an hour to an hour run and get that done. And it's just easy. I can go any time. Or if I do have a bit extra time, I'll go to the gym and just do, like a standard gym workout. So that stuff all helps. And then racing the go-kart's quite hard work sometimes. So that's a bit of work as well, I guess. But it's, like I say, a bit more of a fun thing for me and no pressure and just go and have a bit of a skid.
Yeah. What do you reckon it is more for you then? Is it like just getting out and having fun or pressure, or is it like a training tool as well? Like, is it heaps nicer to be able to rock up to a track, just unload a go-kart or go? Or is there a pressure because you're Dayne Kingshott and then everyone in your race wants to beat you?
No, it's not. I mean, I enjoy both sides of it. I love the pressure, you know what I mean? I love going to race for Krikke Motorsports and having to perform and that side of it. But I also love the going to go-karts on my own, having to rely on no one but myself. And if anything goes wrong, I'd throw it on the ute, go have a beer and drive home. Like that doesn't, so I enjoy both sides of that. And that's just, I just love racing. So it's another thing that I just get to go and do. And I don't know if it helps, hugely, but it might just keep you sharp enough to keep your mind on the racing. But yeah, it's just, like I say, I just love racing. So it's something to do in the off season.
What about you, Matty? Obviously, the Trial E Cup winner. I heard heaps of stories about it in Darwin. The boys were talking through the day. Have you still got the dirt car? And obviously, you must be able to wheel it all right because those fields are no joke.
Yeah, got the cart at home. It doesn't come out of the shed too much these days. But yeah, about 3 or 4 years ago, I was racing, maybe 12, 14 times a year. podiumed in a couple of state titles, which was pretty cool because I don't really class myself as a racer at all. Like it's just
Yeah, that's
having the
sick.
kart was just something fun for me to do during the winter, like Dane. But yeah, the Charlie Cup was a pretty fun deal, and to beat Beto there on the last lap when he ran up the back of a lap car was pretty cool. So I got the $1,000.
I reckon your win at Cody's Buckstill in Bangkok was probably a bigger win in the high carts. That was he cheated his way into it, but it's still a win to win.
He's collecting all sorts of checkers, this bloke.
Yeah, got them kart races are pretty fun. So.
Again, while it's just fresh in your mind, just want to sort of talk through Darwin. We spoke with Dane on the sort of the review show of it, but did you get out of Darwin what you wanted to go up there? Obviously, you would want to learn some things, and I know you guys made a heap of changes on the car. Did you get a heap out of going to Darwin?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was definitely worth the trip. Kind of kicking myself that we didn't. I think we figured something out on the last night there, and I kind of was kicking ourselves that we didn't figure that out a little bit earlier, but I think it was definitely worthwhile. And with the track being different every night, you were just on your toes the whole time. And, unlike Kwinana, like the track just changed so much during the night, you actually had to have your car so different between the start and the end of the night, where I feel like when you go to Kwinana, you go to base and you actually don't change much off your base.
Fine tuning more than
But to be good in Darwin, you got to take a swing at it sometimes.
At the Motorplex, like you know what you run, and like you said, you don't sort of deviate from what you got going on. Do you have ideas in your head of what you want to try, but it's almost you can't do it at the Motorplex because you know it won't work, and then going to Darwin, does that give you the opportunity to try stuff that you've always wanted to try and it's not in the championship hunt and all that? Do you get to try stuff up there?
I mean, there wasn't really anything in my head that I wanted to try in Darwin as such, but it's just, trying to get, at the start, I was trying to get the best kind of base to start with. And then, you kind of had an idea how the track was going to go and then you go from there. But yeah, I think I've got more kind of things in my head about what I want to try at Perth more than anything, I guess, just because you race there so much, you know what I mean? And even though we're faster, we're always searching to be faster. So
right. So I guess to quickly recap last year, obviously it's been documented what you did on the series, but your East Coast trip, just to cover off on that, the Napa, you start off the front row night one. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that was good. So just what about Napa? Like, was that anything remotely close to Darwin? Was that just an event? Like how was Napa for you to race that and do so good there?
I think it was just it's just different, but it was different for everyone, So everyone was there learning. And to be honest, it sort of took me back to my midget days a little bit, the way the cars drive around there. So we were probably, not advantaged, but it sort of fell into our laps a little bit. But yeah, we were good there, but we just didn't sort of get the results we wanted in the end. And I think the last night there we got the Chief Steward put us to rear in the heat race. We would have made the dash in, but it is what it is. It was another one of those trips that we just needed to go and do and learn things from. And we'll go do it again this year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And what about you, Matty? Is that, again, like with how that track played out and how it looked, was that difficult to set the car up for, or do you just sort of know now, given the experience that you do have, do you sort of know what you want to do every time you go to a track?
Oh, not when it came to Adelaide last year. I had absolutely no idea what we were going to start with, and we had a practice night, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that kind of helped, but it was kind of strange there in Adelaide. We didn't really veer off too far where we kind of do stuff in Perth. There was a few little bit different things, but yeah, like going to places like Adelaide and Darwin and anywhere over east, really, it's good to do them places because I feel like you just get stuck in your ways in Perth sometimes, and then when you do go to them tracks, you're like, no, we got to do this because we always do this, but you just can't be like that. You gotta do changes at them tracks that you don't do in Perth. So yeah, it's all learning and it's all valuable learning.
Is there more learning like off the track than on, like in terms of like to watch you guys in Darwin, like the cohesions you live together, like you get to sort of build on your relationships within the team as well. Like, is that important or is that just a byproduct of traveling together?
Yeah, I mean, I reckon that's important, but it's what we enjoy doing too. You know what I mean? It's like we are a big group of mates, which is, you know, I know everyone says that, but we legitimately are. Like, we have a great time together, and I think it just does. You know, we race well in Perth, but you know, we still have to drive 2 hours together. We have to work. We go wash the car together. Like, it's still like quite a, you know, interactive time with the team. So it's not a lot different. But yeah, you just, I guess, hanging around afterwards longer or having a beer the next day without, you know, having a race or whatever. So yeah, it is. I really enjoy it myself.
And what about you, Matty? You obviously are the crew chief, and you got to dictate. Do those trips sort of help you build relationships with the guys, and then they learn a little bit more, and then it helps during race season, like the cohesion, like they know where certain stuff is, they know what you want, and it just sort of helps build the team?
Yeah, just like Dayne said, like even at home, we spend a lot of time together when we're not racing. Like, Dayne's workshop where he works is, you know, about 1 kilometre away from mine. So he's at the shop quite often at lunch times and after work doing stuff. And, you know, quite often some of the crew guys, you know, call in as well. And, you know, Scotty and Gaz call in quite often and help out if they can. So, yeah, even at home, we spend a lot of time together. I guess when we're away, it makes going away easier, I guess. When you spend so much time together at home, nothing's really different away except you just drink way more beer.
Yeah, because you guys I guess you guys do technically travel every week to come here. Like,
Yeah.
Is it not a little bit like, not annoying, but you don't get to stick around because you do have to travel back, like, so you can't even have like that extra beer or whatever. Like, does that ever get annoying, or is that just the program?
Oh, it is annoying sometimes. I wouldn't say it's annoying, but there is nights, especially the nights you win. You just want to, you know, stay around a bit longer and, you know, have a few extra beers and stuff like that. But then obviously the program's got to keep going, right? Like, you've only really got the Sunday kind of off, and you know, everyone likes to spend Sunday with their families or whatever and their kids, and then it's back to work Monday. So you still got to, you know, keep going and get ready for the next race.
Yeah, I think, like, with that, I mean, we've been doing it for a fair while together now. So it's one of those things that it's nice that you have the car washed on Saturday night. It's nice to roll in and get up without having to do anything on. Like, there's nothing worse than, I mean, we used to do it when we were younger. You know, you'd spend all day Sunday washing it. You'd have 5 beers doing it, and it'd just. But things are different now. We try and be a bit more professional about it, and I think that helps. So yeah, it's just get things done, and you wake up Sunday feeling a bit better, knowing that, you know, you don't have to go wash the car, or you don't have to, you know. And we probably, if we run good, we probably go catch up and have a feed at a pub somewhere anyway, and have a couple of beers as it is. So it just, I don't know, it just makes things a bit easier, especially like Matty said, when people have got families and that nowadays. It's good to just run the program as it is, and it's a shame sometimes if you want to hang around for a beer, but at the end of the day, that's all part of the sport, and we want to be good at the sport, not good at drinking beer. So
You're good at both. So last year, then the series, what would be the worst race if you could have one race back from the Maddington rounds last year? Which race do you think? And I ask you both, what race would you like back?
I think we had the Barbagallo race there. We were running real good all night, and I spun it out in 1 and 2. I had a car in front of me. It was like a lap car, sort of checked up, and I thought they were going to spin, and I checked up at the wrong time and spun it out, went to the back, and then come back, I think like 3 laps later, got caught in a huge crash and just destroyed the car. We still finished the race. It was a really long red light, and we managed to fix it well enough to limp around to finish, but it's just one of those nights that we were good and could have been a lot better than what it was, and it just turned to shit pretty quickly. But that's probably I would say probably our worst night. I can't actually remember being like terrible in any races, which is, I think, the main thing with this sport is just being consistent. You got to be, a bad night's got to be a top 5, you know, not a 15th. So I think most nights we had speed, but obviously things don't play out perfectly all the time, or you can get caught up, or you can cause your own issues. So yeah, that was the one night I remember.
What about you, Matty, from your side of things? Is there like a night where you didn't have the car right, or like any mistakes that you would like to go back and fix?
Yeah, that race at Bunbury that we led pretty much the whole race with
Oh,
like
that's right,
5
yeah.
to go, and we like finished 5th. I was like burnt up at that because I just felt like that was on me. Like the car was a rocket ship to start the race, and then the track just went away so much, and we were just way too free at the end. And yeah, just to go from 1st to 5th, I was just so angry with myself.
Well, and you know that from watching, you know that's the car, not him.
Oh,
a
like
bit of both,
bit of
but yeah.
both, but like the car, like I know what he can do when the car's good. So, you know, and like there was some stuff in that race that if it had played out our way, we probably still would have won it, like with restarts and stuff like that. But yeah, like we were just at one point, I think we were like just about a half a lap in front, and then there was a caution at the end, but we were just getting freer and freer as the track went away, and that's the car. Like it was just really good at the start, and then wasn't so good at the end. Like where, you know, on a track like that, you probably need to be a little bit tighter at the start, so you're not so bad at the end.
But with that, just when you were speaking before, saying we've done this for a little bit now, I remember when I did Ryan's interview, he told me, well, like Dayne's like one of the most least experienced out there, so it's pretty impressive for him to do what he's doing. I didn't ignore it, but I didn't really think much about it. But then I have started going back, trying to do research and stuff. You are generally one of the least experienced dudes on the track. Like everyone that you've competed against, like I can watch videos from 2012 and they're in a sprint car doing World Series. Like, yeah, I guess talk about, do you know how many races like you've done? Is this your 6th season coming up?
Yeah, so I'd say we'd be around, 100 to 120. I would imagine. I know James pulled me aside last year. James McFadden said that he was having a laugh. He said, I'm pretty sure I've won more races than you've started in 410. So like and that would be legit too. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's not an excuse, and it can't be used as an excuse. So
You won. There's no excuses. But
but just in general, it is what it is. Everyone's getting better or trying to get better, and you can't. To me, there just can be no excuses at this level. So it is what it is. That's why we go race Darwin, and that's why we go to Warrnambool last year and the Australian title and stuff like that. I'm just lucky enough that I've got a team behind me that are willing to put the time and effort into me to get the experience.
And I love it too, because I always talk about pathways in it, and I feel like the blueprint to invest in a homegrown talent and commit to that, it's just paid off so much for Krikke Motorsports and yourself, obviously. But like, I'm looking through like the top 10 from last year. I think you got to go down to 12th, Aaron Churcott, before someone has less experience than you.
Yeah, right.
Like, so it's you who won the championship, and then everyone from 2nd through 11th has more experience in a 410 than you, which is, I don't think that gets spoken about enough. Like you're a common name there, given the midgets and stuff. But yeah, when Ryan said that, and then I started looking back, I started watching these videos. I'm like, he was in that car 12 years ago. And then, it just seems to be a lot less experience than everyone else. What about the best race? Last year, maybe you didn't even win, but what's the one race where you felt the best throughout the whole year?
That's a tough one. I'm not really sure. I mean, it'd have to be one of the nights we won. I would think like that. Just when you win, you're good, right? Like that.
Yeah. What like grand final night? You were real good, and you're 2nd, but
but not good enough. And that's the difference. Like we're really good, but we're not quite good enough to win the race. So like we were there to race with Callum to win the race. We weren't good enough to win the race. So that's and there's more nights, like there's a shitload of nights where you're not good enough to win the race. So when you are good enough to win the race, like they've got to be one of your best nights. I mean, I think maybe Boxing Day when we had like, the first round of Speed Week and like the big names were here and maybe missing a couple. But yeah, to go out and win that race like we did, I think that was pretty cool. Like that's probably the biggest race win of my career, I would say. And that's like, I think we sort of dominated that race. And yeah, either that or maybe the state title. I think we got tore up in the heat race there, and had to, I don't know where we started. It was a fair way back, and we raced our way to 2nd to finish behind James there. And that was probably our like we dug the deepest in that race, you know what I mean, to come from where we did to get a result out of it. So that was probably one of the ones that stands out.
And what about you, Matty? Which night do you reckon that you were on and the car was on? Like, is there a night where you're like, yeah, we just got it right from the start here?
Yeah, probably Boxing Day. I think kind of went into Speed Week kind of wanting a podium or like some podium finishes for Speed Week. Like, you got to be realistic, right? Like the names that were there, and we go in and win Boxing Night. I'm like, geez, like, you know, kind of set the bar pretty high to start with. So yeah, I think Boxing Day was probably the best one. I was pretty happy with how we went at Murray Bridge at the Australian title. Like, never been there before in a sprint car. You know, to be running second, like, and was good. Like, I think we come from 10th. Yeah, like, we were good, like, real good. So to just go over the other side of the country like that and be fast, for me, in our first year going over there with Dayne was pretty cool.
What's going through your head? You're leading on Boxing Day. Obviously, you're a WA boy, like Speed Week. It's such a massive thing. It's built up, and you've probably always wanted to do it. Are you so busy in the car you can't like think, or are you cruising around with like one lap to go? You see the white, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna win," or you're just so locked in?
No, I think it's just like hit your marks. That's all it is. Like, just be smooth, hit your marks. You know, get to lap cars, read them early. Just it's all, you know, just real straightforward thinking, like the way I try and do it. You know what I mean? There's no point getting. A lot of times you're winning a race, you don't know what race you're winning. Like, it's not something that I'm not running around there going like, oh, it's a state title, I'm going to win a state title, or it's honestly, every race is that big over here. And that's like, people say that, but it's true. Like, if you can win a race here, it's big as it is. So I'm not, it's all the same type of thinking. It's just like hit your marks. But then there's times when you know that you're slowing up, like you can feel your car going away or whatever. But the nights that you don't have that, you think, well, you know, it's 25 laps in or whatever, and I haven't seen anybody yet. So if I just keep doing what I'm doing, not make any mistakes, I should be good.
Well, so you never have to like calm yourself down or be like, hey, like pull yourself back just a smidgen. You're just business.
I mean, I'm sure there is times. Yeah, there's times but I'm different when I'm leading. Like, when I'm leading, I can sort of just get in a zone. You know what I mean? When you're trying to catch someone or you're busy in the pack, then you can be like, all right, calm yourself down a little bit. Like, which, you know, I've had to probably have to do that a little bit more than what I already do. So, but yeah, that's when I'm leading races like that. It's like strictly business. Just keep doing what I'm doing, and try and hit marks and get to the end.
Matty, you've crewed for a few guys now. How is it watching your best mate in it compared to like other people before Dayne jumped in the seat? Is the feelings different for you watching on the infield with Dayne versus say when Kerry was in the car? Like, and what's it like for you to watch? Are you nervous? Are you calm? How do you go?
Not in the moment. In the moment is you just strictly business. Like, you're watching the car, seeing what it's doing. You know, in your head you're going, oh, should have done this, should have done that, whatever. But yeah, in the moment it's exactly the same. You just want, you know, thinking for what's best. But it's not till you kind of like sit back, you know, over the weekend or whatever, you know, on Sunday, and you know, reading the articles and stuff like that or whatever on social media, and it's like, oh, it's, you know, pretty cool to still be doing this with your best mate. So
I don't know how you do, mate. Me and Matty Island were losing it in Darwin. We were like, we're trying to swap a front end out on Jason's car, and we're just like, threw it away. We had to watch it. Like, and I did see you guys not really doing too much, and me and Matty was so animated. Like, I can't help myself. I get so worked up.
It's funny because I used to get really nervous in the midget when we were racing the midget, but for some reason I don't really get nervous with the sprint car stuff. I don't know why that is. But yeah, like every midget race was just like, you know, hearts going 100 mile an hour, just like fingers crossed, like, come on, just like bring this thing home. Like, but yeah, in the sprint car, it's not like that. I'm, you know, I'm not sure why, but I think like with the midget, it was just so different because, you know, you had one car and one engine, and if that engine expired, you probably weren't racing the rest of the season or something like that. I think where, you know, when you got a a few engines in the bank with Krikke's, like if you blow an engine, just, you know, put another one in, and you can keep racing. Where
That night.
Yeah, that night,
Yeah.
where like back then in the midget days, all we wanted to do was race. That's all we wanted to do and be good at it. And if you blew an engine, you're out for the season. That's just how it was.
Yeah, it must be a different mindset then to think about it like that. What's one thing he likes in the car? I don't want trade secrets, but like, is there something that Dayne always is looking for or asks for, like a particular change?
Yeah, not to be stood up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get
Nowadays, anyway.
get that quite a
First
bit.
season, it wasn't as much.
Yeah, but every year, I guess, every season gets better, I guess, because he can give me more feedback, and he knows every season he gets to know a little bit more and know what kind of field that he does want. So, but I still think sometimes that what he feels what he wants to feel is probably not always the right way. And that's with every driver. That's not just with Dayne. That was with Kerry as well. Like Kerry always wanted to be tighter, and I'm like, mate, you're like this already. Like when we can't be tighter, and sometimes I think it was that what kind of made me think about that was when we had Kerry in the car for the Classic a couple of years ago, and we were like back of the B main, and he come through and won the B main from the back, and I think it was kind of as perfect drive as you could get, and as perfect the car could get. And he came in, and I'm like, what do you reckon? He's like, oh, bit free, nah, too free. I'm like, so you perfect then, perfect. That's how you need it. Like,
And with that, then, like, if you can see what you can see like that, and he obviously comes through at the Classic at the B main, like that's a good field. Would you change it? Would you tell him you change it, or do you just how do you deal with that?
you
freed it up.
I mean, you still need their input, but yeah, sometimes that, and then just like, I mean, that kind of race, I think it rained before the feature race, and the track was totally different anyway. But whatever, but yeah, like you come back of the B, had to pass cars, you can't be tight. You got to be free to move around, and then so you go to the A main and you start at the back of the A main, so you got to be the same. Like so you still take their input, but then you've also got the last say, I guess, as well. So you kind of do what you think's best and go from there.
Matty was saying your feedback's got better, Dayne. Have you learnt more, or like my thought process is always you're calmer in the car, you're more used to everything. Then you can almost think more about the setup than actually racing. Is that what's happening for you? And like the more seat time you get, the more time you're able to actually switch your brain from racing to like what's the car doing?
No, I think it's just like it's data input. Hey, like the more laps you do, the more times you get to feel the car doing different things, and the more times you'll get a car that's good or bad, and things that help you in certain scenarios and things that don't. So I just think it's just trial and error for one of feeling out what works for you or what you want, and then getting the laps to get that feel the more times you have it. Like, and it's never a feel. Like, I mean, you go from racing Perth to Allenbrook to Darwin to Adelaide. Like, there's a general feel for how I think I need to be at each track, but that's not the same everywhere either. Like the cars just race differently everywhere you go anyway. So, no, I just think it's just all a laps thing. The more laps you get, the more I know, sort of what I think will be fast for me. But again, like that's just input. I trust Matt enough nowadays that, I still want to know. Like I still ask him, I'm like, what have you done? But I don't, I'm not going to say don't do that. I'm just like, I trust him enough to just be like, righto, if that's what you think, let's go. So we've always worked really well together in that aspect. I think in the midget days, we probably had more of a 50-50 role on setting the car up, whereas nowadays it's like I sort of tell Matt what I think the track's going to do, like, or we talk about it, and then he'll be like, okay, I'll do this. What do you think? I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Like, we'll have a go. More times I think it's a bit like I'm not saying that I'm, like Kyle Larson, but Kyle Larson talks about every time he talks about the car to Paul or whatever, they go worse. So he just shuts his mouth and lets him do his thing, So I still want to know. I still like the mechanical side of these cars. So I still want to know what he's done to make us better. But more times I've done well with him just making a call than I have, trying to have input on what we're going to do. So I trust him enough to just, back it in and send it.
Is there anything you sort of like have disputes over? Like, oh, we need, no, we're not doing that. Is it track, like car? Is there anything that you try and have a bit too much or not enough input on?
I don't think so. No, I think we're pretty. It's funny, like I always say, I talk to people about it, but it's a lot of the time we'll have a bad race and I'll come in and be like, I was dog shit. And Matt will be like, well, you can't fucking be any good if the car's no good either. Like, so we're arguing with each other about who was worse.
That was my fault. That was my fault.
Exactly right. So, and it's not always like that. We agree. Yeah. Like, Matt will agree that I drove like shit, or I'll agree that, the car wasn't that great, but it's always just working to get better. Like, it's not, we're never really disputing with one another because, it's someone's fault, or it's literally just trying to get better every time we hit the track.
I'll ask both of you this, but obviously you're saying you're speaking to other drivers. Is there one driver that you sort of lean on or bounce ideas off the most in the pits, like that you always, what do you reckon with this? Or is it all pretty keep it close to your chest?
Yeah, I mean, I think when Kerry was running for Crickies those few years, and I was going to the Classic and watching or just hanging around sort of thing, like I learned a lot from Kerry in that, and he was quite open book with me with those sorts of things. I'm not at the track talking to people about setups. I think, or things like what you should be doing in the car. J-Mac's normally pretty good with me. He's obviously got a lot of experience, but everyone, you can only take it with a pinch of salt as well. You're still there trying to compete against them. So I sort of think that the way that we go about it and we just learn ourselves is probably the best way. But yeah, you're always, keeping an open ear out to what's going on around you.
Has that advice dried up as you sort of gotten a bit better?
No. That's what I mean. It's not even advice. It's just, just a bit of conversation here and there, and everybody has it, like I don't mind giving advice either, and that's the thing, but also that people are only listening 25% of what you're saying anyway, so it really doesn't matter that much. But yeah, it's just about, I guess it's more just talking shit in speedway, isn't it? That's what we do. But yeah, there's not, I think, like I say, the way we go about racing and trying to get better and improve ourselves, the way we do it, and I think it's the best way that we can do it, so that's why we do it that way.
What about you, Matty? Who do you bounce ideas off the most? Like, is it even in the team, Dayne or Ryan, or do you feel like you've got a good enough grasp that you sort of just figure it out yourself?
Yeah, if I'm bouncing ideas, it'd just be mainly Dayne and the team. Yeah, Dayne and Ryan mostly. But yeah, I got not really anyone else for ideas or anything like that. But I've got pretty good relationships with Pete and Chad from Maxwell Race Engines. They've been, doing Crickie's engines for 15, 20 years, and Wayne Randall, who does our shocks, like we're pretty close with him. I go to Queensland every off season for a month and do shocks with him. And if you have people like that, I think we've been using Randall for probably the same 15, 20 years, and to have relationships with your engine builder and your shock builder like that is just so valuable, I reckon.
Well, what would you see, like, and obviously you won crew chief of the year, you know what's going on, but if there's something that you could improve on, what do you think that is? Like, is it the shocks or the engine, working that out? Like, what's something that you'd like to direct your attention on?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think I'm kind of pretty well-rounded. Like, don't think I'm an expert on anything, but I'm kind of know a little bit about the engine. Probably more so shocks, I guess, if anything. I've been doing that for a while now with Wayne. But yeah, I don't know. I just
No, fair enough.
Can't really answer that, to be honest. So
with
probably my attitude at the track sometimes probably needs a bit of work. But, yeah.
Well, with that, mate, you got crew chief of the year, but you didn't go to America. There was another prize or something. What did that mean to you to win that, first of all, and then the prize after that?
Oh, it was so good to win that. Like, especially being named after Jason Krikke, like that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was like the first time that the series has had the crew chief of the year award as well since I can remember anyway.
Which is borderline criminal, really. Like, it should have been in a long time ago, like, given the role that you guys do.
Yeah, because they used to have it at World Series. I won it the first year that I started with Crickies. I won it that year as well, but I think everyone felt sorry for me that I just got thrown in the deep end and had to deal with Kerry. But yeah, that was very cool too. But I think this one probably meant a little bit more. I think, especially, yeah, as I said, being named after Jason Krikke and doing it with these guys. Yep.
What about moving forward then to this year? Obviously, you won it last year, so the goal's to win it. But is there, if you could break it down a little further, is there like something you want to see yourself do every round? Is it never miss a top 5? Like, is there a goal that you have in mind other than the championship?
I mean, obviously the Perth stuff over here, the Maddington Toyota Series is our main goal. So that's important. And that just, I mean, that's consistency. That's just trying to go every night and run good and just don't have, bad nights can't be that bad. And so that's a pretty common thing. But then also I do want to work on getting better over East. Obviously, I want to be able to turn up anywhere and win races. So eventually, and that obviously takes a lot of work, and we're a fair way away from that. But yeah, no, I'm like I say, there's nothing that I really plan on doing differently or whatever. But yeah, there's always work. You know what I mean? Like everyone's trying to get better. There's no one that in the world that's Kyle Larson's the best in the world if you ask me, and he's still getting beat every week. Like it's just. You got to get better every time you go, and that's it. That's my main goal, is to just keep getting better and don't stop getting better, and that's eventually will get me to where I want to be.
With that, when you go to like the Warner Ball and that, is it noticeable in you? Like, are you like, man, like I should be smashing this corner? Why am I not? Like, what is the biggest difference between like your home track here at the Motorplex or Bunbury, the ones versus that? Is it just confidence?
No, it's just like the cars do different things on different tracks, and again, it's all learning. Like it's all just doing more laps with the cars doing that stuff and knowing what I want in a car at a track like that, or being able to tell Maddie that I feel like I need to do this or I need to do that. And it's the way the tracks actually race too. Like every track has its little idiosyncrasies, and trying to work them out with one night at it against the best in the country isn't always that easy, you know what I mean? So yeah. It's just, yeah, like I say, it's just laps. It's laps and laps and laps. And obviously confidence is a huge thing in this game as well. So if you go somewhere and you have a bad heat race and you're down in confidence, then that doesn't help. But no, I'm usually pretty good with that sort of thing anyway. I know it's a process and we've got to go through it, and yeah, we just it's not easy, definitely not easy, but yeah, that's the way it is.
Maddie, what about you then? Your like goals. What for you personally? Could you look back at the end of the season and be like, "Yep, like I've ticked that box." If what would be in that box for you? Is it no DNFs? Is it top 5s? Is it what is it?
Yeah, for me, it's every year's like making sure that car doesn't miss a race because of a mechanical failure or something like that. That's a big thing for me. That's the first step. If your car's not breaking down and you're doing every lap you can, then you're giving yourself every chance to win the race. But then it's also, like Dayne said, just making sure you're getting better every year, because the sport doesn't stand still. Something's always changing. Tyres are changing all the time. So you just got to make sure that you're always progressing, because nothing's ever the same. Tracks are changing. But yeah, also I think going over East, I just feel like it's taken me a little bit too long to get Dayne comfortable. It's we showed good speed in Darwin pretty much the whole time we were there, but I felt like it was not until the last night that we stumbled across something and it was going home now. And I felt like it was the same when we went over East, got to Murray Bridge, it was the last night, found something, now we're going home. But I guess hopefully we go across there this year and can start where we left off.
Mate, there's always talk about pressure on the drivers, and Dayne puts it on himself and all that sort of stuff. Is enough spoken about the pressure that's on a crew chief like yourself? One, you crew for Krikke Motorsport, so there's a massive amount of pressure with that. But then also with Dayne in the drive, he's your best mate and stuff. But no matter what driver, is there enough spoken about the pressure for you to put out a safe race car that's not going to break down? That must consume a lot of your thoughts and make you a little bit anxious before every race. Have I done every nut? Do people speak about that enough?
Nah, not at all. I don't think it's very.
No,
very
there'd be as
talked
much
about.
pressure on him as there is me for sure. Probably even more actually. He does it as a job. Like this is just a side gig for me. For these guys, it's their life. Right.
Yeah, when you're getting paid to do it, you got to make sure it gets done. So you got stuff falling off the car, or you're gonna have parts break every now and then. But if they're breaking because they're 30 years old, then that's your fault.
What's something you triple check? Is there something you check like more than anything else?
Check everything pretty much the same, I think, these days.
Because I would be proper scared to work on someone else's stuff, like just in case something went wrong. Even if it's not your fault, there's still like, I did that bolt up.
You didn't look like that in Darwin, mate. You were into it. Stuck in a couple of stubbies deep, putting front ends together.
Mate, one kingpin, mate. But yeah, just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that the pressure of that all the time. And the first time I sort of thought about it, Brodie Moller told me that every time he goes out, like, nah, let's focus. That's our mate in the car. And I'm like, yeah, there would be so much pressure with that.
Left front radius rod bolt.
Yeah.
Had one fall off our car at the Australian title a couple of years ago. Junked the thing. So
yeah, right.
I'm always swinging off that thing for some reason now.
Yeah. One little bolt.
One bolt.
Yeah, right. Consumes a lot of your thoughts. And then, so obviously the plan is to get the series there. Do you know how many people have won 3? Like, do you ever look into the statistics or you just go out and race?
No, I reckon I'll be a stats man when I'm done.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll go back and look at it all and be disappointed with what I didn't get done. But no, I wouldn't have a clue. There'd be a few, I'm sure. Jamie Maolo and who else would there be? Kendo maybe. Farrell, yeah.
There can't be many.
No, like I said, I wouldn't have a clue. But
Not that you have it yet or anything like that.
Off the top of my head, but yeah, no, it'd be. Look, mate, it's getting that hard at the moment though. Like over here, it's you look at who's coming over for the speed week and things like the high limit, and that's all part of our point. So it's just it's literally take it night by night and try and, like I say, not have a bad night. But yeah, I mean the series is massive to me. It's the best series in the country by far, and to win that, it's been the biggest thing that I've won in my life. So to have a crack at it again, it'd be amazing to try and get it done again. But yeah, it's obviously there's a long road in front of us, and we're definitely not shy of it. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of work.
What's the one you want to win? Like, is there one in your calendar already?
Like honestly, like I've said, like you can just, if you can win a race, like how many people are getting around that haven't won a race either ever or for a long time? Like it is that hard. Like it's, and I don't know, like just to win a race is amazing. So you just tick them off as you can. Like it's literally, it doesn't matter if it's Power Palooza or if it's high limit. Like it just, obviously there's bigger races and they're more prestigious to win, which are great, but you can't go into them any differently than every other night. Like we're literally putting in 100% of our effort every time we're there. So if you can win one of them, then I'll be happy. If we can win a big one, then awesome, So, but that's again, like we've got a championship to play for as well. So you got to remember that you can't just go out there and put everything on the line for one feature race win and put the thing, which it happens pretty easily nowadays. It's the way you got to race to win races. But yeah, it's just like I say, it's take every race as it comes, and what you can win is a bonus.
What about you, Matty? Any events that you want to tick off, or just win?
Oh yeah, just win any race.
You guys are just junkyard dogs, eh? Like it's just everything. Yeah,
winning's so good.
Yeah.
No, if I had to choose one that I really want to get, it'd be the Krikke Boys race. I almost got it done with Kerry one year, and lap car spun in front of us and took us out, which was pretty painful. Won one as a tyre guy when Veal was driving for us. We won that one, but I'd love to win one as a crew chief. What
about the country tracks we're going to? Is there one that you're looking forward to most?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to go to Albany. Yeah. We get to visit one of our favourite sponsors down there at Wilson's Brewing. So, but no, I
might bankrupt the joint.
No, we don't want to lose our sponsorship. But no, I've raced there in the midget a couple of times, and it's a pretty cool racetrack. I don't want to talk it up too much because obviously they've got a bit of a job ahead of them. All these little country tracks to put on a put on a racetrack for a 410 sprint car field. Like it's one thing having midgets or, you know, modified sedans or something like that down.
Even
at those-
limiteds.
That's right. Yeah,
Like
it's completely
10 limiteds versus 30 410s.
Exactly. So it's completely different ball game. So I don't want to talk it up too much for them, put too much pressure on them, you know. But it's if they can get the places like Albany right, it'd be awesome. You know what I mean? I'm sure it'd be no different to going to Darwin or Murray Bridge or somewhere like that. It'd be pretty cool. So I haven't raced in Geraldton much. Kalgoorlie, I think I raced a couple of times, but again, just really hopeful that they can get their tracks nailed so that we can put on a good show.
Does that worry you about going to those tracks and stuff like that? Like, there's some tracks that some stuff's happened, like it maybe in Darwin, that fire and stuff like that, and then there's an incident in Ellenbrook, and my mentality watching both of them was we talk up the motorplex for the track and the crowds and all that, but sometimes there's more than that to it. Like, I don't know if those incidents happen the way they happen, if it's the motorplex fire crew, if it's the motorplex facilities, like, are the injuries the same? Is the fire as big and go as long as it did? Like, yeah, I do wonder going out to those country tracks, if I don't know if the series is going to ship the guys around, but does that ever play on your mind?
I mean, the hardest thing for me is, like, it's just so professional in Perth here. Like, what they've done in the last, even the 5 years I've been racing, is just raise the bar, you know, crazy levels to what it was 10 years ago. And I'd hate to go, you know, like we're from Bunbury, you know, and I love Bunbury. I love even the track itself, but, you know, I try and tell people to go down on a, you know, like the first race we had there last year, and it's laying rubber in hot laps, and then where they're grading the track and they've got a grandstand full of people, and to me that's like degrading the series hugely, and I just don't want that to happen, you know what I mean? And you got to give these places a chance, so I'm all for it. But yeah, I just hopefully they can, like I say, nail the event as much as getting the track right and that, and keep that standard that they've built it to up there.
Yeah, I know it's probably just mainly a money issue with the country tracks, but like in the last couple of years, sprint car racing and speedway in general here in Perth just gone next level. Like every sprint car team that rocks up at Perth now is next level to where they were 2 or 3 years ago, but the tracks aren't changing. These country tracks they're not getting better, or not feel like they're not putting the effort in that we're putting into. Yeah, I say it all the time. The professionalism in the pits needs to be matched on the track. Yeah. So to hear things like Bunbury getting a new track surface, and I think Kalgoorlie's getting a bit of work done to it. So to hear that they're actually putting effort in to get their tracks and facilities better for us is what you want to see. It's just you don't want to see them not doing anything like Bunbury has for 3 years. Like they haven't done a thing. I mean, they did the fence, but yep. If you can see them putting effort in, then we're happy to go there. But yeah, they need to put as much effort in as what Bunbury's team have. Brad Blake and Jamie Oldfield on the track, like, feel like they've given themselves the best chance to be successful with those two. Yep, for sure.
I agree. Yeah, and that's like I say, as long as and to be honest, to go race these tracks is going to be awesome. Like if they can nail it, it's going to be awesome for us to go and do something different, especially with the Maddington Toyota Series. Like it'd be badass. So yeah, hopefully it all works out and it turns into a good series with these extra tracks.
Do you see like a difference in the crowd, how pumped they are from like the Motorplex, who are used to seeing you guys all the time, to when you do go out to like Bunbury only last year? Is the crowd like way more excited and mind blown when they actually see you?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't have a clue. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think the Motorplex gets pretty rowdy as it is. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, like it just naturally produces the best racing too, right? So you go to Bunbury and it's not always a good race there. So it's hard for the crowd to get up and about if it's not a lot of people that still go to Speedway are still Speedway, diehards. So they know what they're watching and yeah, like I say, you go to Perth and you can look the whole way down the field of cars sliding one another and passing each other, and even when the track's bad, it's still racy, So it's hard to say. And plus, I wouldn't know anyway. I don't really look up into the crowd to see it. Maybe after the races or whatever. But yeah, it's I don't know. Perth's atmosphere is pretty good nowadays as well. So it's really good now. So Bunbury's atmosphere was always good, but yeah, like I say, these little country tracks, I'm unsure. I'm sure they'll fill them out, which will be the best thing. But yeah, hopefully we can just put on a good show for them.
Is it just in terms of next year with the car and that? Is it exact same package? There's nothing new in terms of like what you're doing with the car, chassis, everything's still the same program?
Yeah, same chassis, engines, wings, shocks. Obviously, we're just trying to find little things now to be faster and better. But yeah, it's all the same stuff, same as what it's been for the last 6 years.
How important is that consistency, do you think?
Oh, huge. I don't even. You see guys in the pit areas, swapping chassis and swapping shock brands and wings, and it's just, you kind of sit there and just shake your head because it's like, how can you learn?
Yeah.
You can't learn when you're just swapping stuff like that.
Sometimes I wonder if that's why they do it. Oh, we're in a new this, and that's why the results are no good.
Like if you're sending a new driver out with something different like that on the car every race meeting, or you're going from a Maxim to a Triple X, like how is the driver meant to feel comfortable? Like it's just not going to happen. Like if you send your driver out with pretty much the same stuff every week, he's just going to know what it feels like.
How hard would it be as a crew chief working on new gear all the time?
I think that would be hard too. Like I don't know. I mean, I've only really worked on Maxims since working on sprint cars, and I think when I was in Queensland a couple of years ago, I worked on a Triple X and just hated it. I don't know. It is different.
Yeah, it's just different.
I mean, after a while, you would kind of find out what it likes, and you would get faster with it. But it takes time. Like it's taken, I mean, it's taken us 6 years to be where we're at now. Like, and just with the same stuff, I can't imagine how far. I can't even imagine what would be like if we were swapping chassis all the time.
I remember talking to you once, Dayne, about engines and stuff, and I hear about how they throttle differently. Like you run all the same engines. So how different are they? Like, could you, if you didn't know, like placebo, would you be able to tell the different engines and which ones they were?
I'm pretty sure Matt was going to stitch me up with this once. He was going to put a motor in without telling me and see if I could tell the difference. But that might have been in like my second or third season, so I probably wouldn't have been able to tell. But I reckon I'd be able to tell now. Like some are like, and I don't know if all of our motors are exactly the same, but they're all very similar, and they just are completely different. Like one of our motors seems like every time we qualify with it in Perth, we're a couple of tenths off. But I'll have that motor. I would rather that motor in Darwin or Murray Bridge or something like that, just because it throttles so nice. Like it's just such a drivable engine. And then, like we've got a couple of other motors that don't throttle as well, but you're going to be up there in qualifying every night. Like it. So they're all just got their tiny little idiosyncrasy, their little differences in them that I think as you do it more, you can start to pick up on it more. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, like none of our stuff is bad either. That's the other thing. Like if you were a single car team with a single engine, any of our motors would be perfect. Like they're all good enough to win races. But yeah, they're all just a little bit different.
What's one thing that you have to have right in the car? Is there like, your helmet needs to be done this way? Is there something that you always are fiddling with and you're really particular about?
It probably is. Matt would probably know this more than me, to be honest. There's probably something that I do that shits him. But
I reckon your hill blocks. I reckon if I think I left a hill block out of the car once, and you're like, feels weird in here.
Yeah, it'd be something like that. Yeah, I do take a bit of time to get myself comfortable in a car. But I've got better at that over the years as well. But it's the same as anything. Like we have, like Matt said, we've got 2 new cars, and the 2 cars that we had were a bit older that we've run or whatever. I want to be able to get in one into the next and it be exactly the same. But not just for me, but for Matt as well. Like I don't want to go out there and be like, feel completely different and it takes us 3 nights to work out what we're doing. It's, that's no good for us. So the more at home you can feel, which since racing for these guys, I can be 1 lap into hot laps and forget which car I'm in, which I think's been an absolutely massive bonus for me to be able to just get in car to car or whatever, and however many cars that we've had now that I've raced in the 5 years, I haven't had one that's felt completely different to another. Like they've all been really close. So, and again, they're all tiny bit different, but within a lap, you feel at home. You're comfortable and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, back to your question. No, there's nothing really that I don't know. Maybe my tape when when the sun's out, I'm pretty particular with how high my tape is on my. And the boys blow up about it. And if they leave it on when the sun's gone down, I'm like, fuck, why is this still on? You're
the funniest thing is he made a carbon fibre panel so he didn't have to put tape there. And I don't think we have a quick time with it, so now we won't run it. We have to put tape on instead.
Yeah, I think it affects the aero too much under the wing. So
I always think that's crazy that with all the technology and that there is in sprint cars, when the sun's in people's eyes, they just use sticky tape.
yeah. Oh no, I got a mad little carbon visor that we made. Yeah, but
you won't use it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's one of those things in my head, I guess.
What about routine? Do you I have to, when I get in the car, if I don't do it in a certain way, I start again. Like how I put my belts and all that on and the gloves and all that. Do you have anything like that, or?
I mean, I do have a routine, but it's not like it's be all and end all for me. There's a couple of times like I'll put my belts on and one of my like shoulder straps isn't in it properly, and it's like I'll just unclip it, put it all back together, and clip it back on. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's and I've got my gloves on and something that I'll just do it. But yeah, there is a routine on how I do things, which I think everybody would have a routine, eh? Like that's how you do it. But getting in the car, there's a routine. My routine of like the day of racing is somewhat similar, but I almost like, I don't know, I just try my hardest to not make it bigger than it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to the track and racing a race car. Like I know I don't want to, simplify it too much, but it's just, one of those things. I think you can definitely overthink things and make it harder for yourself. So I just try and keep things pretty simple and just go about it like usual.
You have any race day routines, Matty? You just rock up and do whatever?
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. I don't like superstition or anything like that. Try not. I know Ryan's really big on superstition, but I hate
Is
it.
he?
Yeah, huge.
What's it you reckon?
Oh, there's a lot. There is a lot.
The suits, the color of the suits is one of them.
Usually
we have like a black suit and a red suit. So, if we get in a few crashes with the red suit stays out the rest of the year.
Well, I think we had a red suit and black suit last year, and we won every race that we won with the red suit. And I think every crash we had was with the black suit.
It happened with Kerry too.
Yeah, I
Kerry
reckon he's on
to something.
He nearly banned me from using it. I'm like, it's the best suit I have. It's like brand new and it looks awesome. And he's like, no, you're not using that one tonight, mate. Put the red one on.
Although I reckon I used Kerry's red suit in the carton crash too, so maybe it is something.
Yeah, I'm probably more superstitious about being superstitious. Like I'll go to get my jocks or something to wear for the day, and I'm just like, fuck, it doesn't matter. Don't be superstitious. It is what it is. Go do your thing. That's it. Don't have to be like, it's nothing to do with the luck of what you put on that day. Like
with that, then has Ryan's involvement lessened? Has he got like more involved, like from when you've jumped in the seat? Like obviously he would be one of the most hands-on car owners I think there is in the pits, and from what I can see he's reasonably relaxed. Like is that your experience with him?
Yeah, I mean I've openly said it that he's the best car owner I've ever had by far, and that, it's no disrespect to anybody else either, but he's just, the way he goes about it is really good. I mean, he deals with managing people for a living pretty much, so he's really good at that side of it. But yeah, I mean, I think it might have changed a little bit once Kerry didn't come back. It wasn't like a change from like, we're just going to go have a skid to, okay, I'm racing the car now. So maybe it did, but I don't think that his attitude towards it's ever changed or anything. Like he's been pretty. Yeah, like I say, really, really good with me the whole time that I've raced for him. So I wouldn't want him any different, to be honest. It's pretty well perfect.
He's always hands-on. He's like, I always see him doing stuff on the engine, like mucking around. Like he knows his stuff as well.
Yeah. He went, when he was younger, he went to America and worked on race cars. So, he's been around it his whole life, really. And worked on them, not just, watched them and or be a car owner or whatever. So it's really, to be honest, it's really good to have him like that too. Even when we it was the first year of World Series. When I took over, it was like a really hard year for both of us, I guess. But he couldn't come to every race, obviously. But I would definitely rather him be at the track with us, just so he can see what goes on, instead of getting on the phone. Oh, this happened, that happened. Like it's just way better if he's there, seeing it himself. You know what I mean? I like that way better. Yeah.
And what about the rest of your crew? I spoke to you there. I sort of give out a shout out for the crew, because I think crew chiefs don't get anywhere near enough recognition to what they actually deserve, but they get more than the crew guys as well. Like, who's the guys that are swinging the spanners for you, doing the tyres, grooving, all that? Who sort of helps Krikke Motorsports get out on the track?
But yeah, we got a big bunch of guys that give us a hand, and without them we wouldn't be able to do what we do. But got Big Sexy's my right hand man. But
Is he?
Yeah, he's
When's he due back? Firstly,
next week, next
Next
Thursday.
Yeah.
straight back into it.
Oh yeah, he's going on board full time for us this year, so that'll be good because just with the amount of races and the amount of travelling that we just got to have another guy. So it would be good to have him full time with me at the workshop. He's the kind of guy that I can just tell, that something needs done, and I don't have to show him how to do it. I don't have to look over my shoulder to see if it's done properly. He's just onto it. So he can do anything from tyres and changing bars, gears, whatever has to be done to the car, except for the motor stuff that I do all the motor stuff. But he can do everything else. Scotty's been with us pretty much since day dot. Hey,
into the midget days as well.
Yeah, in the midget days.
Is that how long?
Yeah. Not the whole midget stuff, but maybe the last 2 or 3 years there, he was on board with the midget, so he sort of just transitioned over with me, and he's been really, really good. Old Scotty's he's goes everywhere with us pretty much, and he's always cleaning the back of the trailer out or putting fuel in. I think Ryan had him up doing the merch at Darwin, which was maybe good for him. It was a bit cooler up there, and I think he quite enjoyed that. But yeah, Scotty's a absolute treasure. He's been around for a while, and
is he the macadamia? Trillia? What is it?
Tara Lee,
Tara Lee Farm Macadamias.
Yeah.
He'll get up me for saying that wrong all the time, so I nailed it just then. But no, he's good. They used to have city ceilings as well, which has been on the car and on one of my helmets and that sort of thing. But yeah, he's him and his family have helped me out, and obviously Krikke Motorsport now as well. So that's pretty cool.
Is there anyone else that floats around?
Yeah, we've got Big Gaz. He's Hoff cabinets on the car as well. He's done. He's been helping us out for the last couple of years. Good.
Mate, Ryan must be some bloke. He gets them to sponsor and wash the cars.
Yeah,
what a man.
I know, it is a bit like that.
Workshop's pretty pimped now with Gaz's cabinets in there. So he redid all the workshop and that for us upstairs as well. So he's done a lot of work for us, and then he also comes to the track and gives us a hand as well. So. And then we got Mutzi and Lockie, who have been around forever. Like Mutzi's one of Ryan's good mates from when he was younger. So I don't know how he got his nickname. I don't think he's ever told us. Hey?
No, I reckon I learned it, but I can't remember. Yeah,
I reckon I got an idea.
I don't think it is what you think either.
But yeah, without obviously them guys, it's same with every crew. It doesn't happen without them guys, does it?
Yeah, and then obviously Big Josh come over to help us at Darwin. He was a really good addition to the team, and like anything, just all of our team just fit in well together. You know what I mean? No one feels awkward around one another, and which I think's huge. Like I've been in situations racing before where you don't want to be where you are or whatever, and the racing's the fun side, and everything else outside of it's hard work. Whereas with this team, it's just everything's fun, you know what I mean? The racing's the hard work because you want to be good at it, and everything else just is easy. So I think that's a pretty important thing, and we've definitely got a good crew, and it's a good time to be around Krikke Motorsports.
Mate, it sounds like it's always a good time. Like we just spoke about with the sponsors, like people want to be a part of it. It's like I'm not sure how much Ryan would have to twist people's arm to get on board. It's Krikke Motorsports. Like if you come out and hang out in the pits, like at Darwin, it looked like you guys were having as much fun as anyone up there, on and off the track, like laughing, joking, mucking around. Like it looked like it's even though how professional it is, it looks like it's fun. Like, and then, I guess this is a point where you do speak about sponsors that sort of help the car get out on the track, and you sort of retain them a lot. Like, I guess, rattle off the sponsors and like you sort of spoke about Maxwell Engines and that, and how regular they've been with the Krikke Motorsports package, Pro Shocks. What was that fella's name?
Wayne Randall. He's AFCO shock doctor.
Yep.
He's been with Krikke's for about 15, 20 years, and like I don't know of any other shop guy that would invite you over and stay at his house for a month while he teaches you how to build shocks. I just don't think there's anyone around that would do that. And
Should we make Matty rattle off the sponsors? You got a bit more practice, I reckon, Dane.
I reckon he'll be right to get get through a few of them.
well, obviously Mobile One is the biggest sponsor, and Bunbury Toyota. It's
Got performance race gear. Mike, got to give Mike a heads up.
When's your video coming out?
Look, I think I missed that, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that. That's I'll keep that to the big dogs. They can do that stuff. I'm pretty happy with my deal. So, obviously Mike helped us out, and he's definitely got the best race suits on the market, if you ask me. Well, not if you ask me, I just think that definitely are. Obviously, like Matty said, Hoff's Cabinets, which is Gaz. Wilson's Brewing, great, absolutely great sponsor.
It's one of the best sponsors you can have, especially for our team.
And that was like just like organic, like that just blossomed from not much. Hey, that Wilson's one by the sounds of it.
Yeah, just by them being a part of the series or whatever, and where we don't mind a beer. Not that that's all we do, because obviously we got to stay in tune for this type of stuff. But yeah, it's good to have a beer sponsor and a local one as well. Which is really, really cool. So, and the best thing, which you can have a beer sponsor, but their beer is actually good. That's pretty important. So no, they're a good supporter. There's obviously Maxwell Race Engines, like that's all I've ever used, but I don't want to use anything else. To me they seem like the best out there. PWR radiators obviously help. JFE Group, Josh Fort, he's come on board the last couple of years. He's been a pretty good sponsor. MV Group's new this year, which was big Ross up in Darwin. You might have met him. He's a pretty cool lad. They're doing some big things with earth moving and stuff like that down south and around the state. Elite Fabrication, which is where I work, they've jumped on board this year as well, so that's pretty cool, and which helps me. I seem to be doing 50% work, 50% race car stuff, but he's a good help as well. There's obviously Resolve Spray Painters painting all their stuff. They're doing a lot of stuff nowadays, and probably more nowadays than what they have. But I don't know. You got any more, Matty?
Yeah.
When's Cochrane Shearing Sheds coming back on board?
Nah, I think he's retired. Well, he is retired, but I don't think he wants to spend his retirement money on motor cars. So.
That's probably fair. He'll spend it going to watch.
He came to Darwin with us.
How was his two-seater? What did he say after the two-seater?
Oh, yeah, it was unreal, he said. So, it was really good of Jason and Cody to throw him in there, and might have to try and get him one at Quinana, I reckon. Yeah. The track wasn't too flash on that Sunday, but
they need to do the Wednesday night two-seater. I reckon if you could get in a two-seater on a Wednesday night, it'd be a completely different game.
Yeah,
might chew the engines up a bit more, but wouldn't chew the tyres up as much.
So it'd be cool to have him on board, but retired now. So, but also I don't think he's on that list. But Jeff at AAEP Anodizers, he's been anodizing all our stuff for a couple of years now, so he's a really big help. He's on the car, so I can thank him as well.
What's your favourite part then, Matty? Like, I know you do a lot of trick stuff, and I've heard like Sheldon Hardenschild, when he was over there, had a look at the car and he couldn't believe how nice it was. Like, what do you think's your most like trick piece of equipment, or is there like a little like label on something that you think's real cool?
Nah, I like it all, but I reckon Dayne comes up with most of it, because like he can do most of it at work with the laser cutter and stuff. And then we got a mate, Brett, who works at Prime Industrial in Bunbury. They got a laser engraver there, so like all our radius rods are not stickers; they're all laser engraved.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
Yeah,
but then like Dayne does stuff like the floor tray, the floor pan of the race car. Instead of just having holes in it, it's got the KMS logo cut into it. Yeah, it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
That's and then the front radiator grille, Krikke Motorsport cut into it. That's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah, we just
everything.
We get bored.
He made his own titanium brake pedal the other day. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but we really enjoy. I think that's helped us a long way as well. We just actually like these race cars. Like they're cool. They're still an old tractor with 1,000 horsepower, 900 horsepower, or whatever. But they're amazing bits of machinery that are very expensive nowadays, and we just love doing our little bits and pieces that make them even cooler, and that's and faster too. Like that's the other thing. There's things that we try and do to make them go better as well, and we don't reinvent the wheel either though. That's the other thing. We keep it pretty simple, but yeah, the things are awesome to work on, especially when you get what Matty's building, and then I don't mind mucking around with a bit of stuff and fabbing some things up, and makes it pretty cool, makes it pretty unique.
Mate, the two things I want to add. I like the radius rods thing, so I'm hell keen to have a look at that. But the merch, like I speak about it as well. Like is it cool seeing like people around, and I'm sure you would see it in Bunbury, like wearing your stuff. Like, do people know who you are in Bunbury?
I don't know. This is like a bit of a thing. We had a bit of a joke a while ago. I don't know. It is cool. It's cool nowadays. I love seeing it at the Speedway. But Speedway's not that big either, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's big, but it's not huge. So I see it around town, and I just know that they don't know who I am. They're just wearing that shirt.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, like I've been, it was years ago now, but I remember being in JB Hi-Fi somewhere buying something, and a guy was literally standing next to me wearing like a full like car with everything on it. And yeah, no idea who I was. Not that I was there if anything I was sort of hiding, which, I've definitely got better at that as well, realising that we have a bit of a platform, which is really cool, which is what, the Maddington Toyota Series has done. So it's something that I've got better at, but I've never been super comfortable with either, you know what I mean?
Would be hell weird.
I am still just, like a guy that loves, I went to Speedway as a kid and I loved it, and I still love it, that's just who I am. So yeah, it's changed a little bit for me in the last few years, which I'm trying to get better at doing that stuff. But yeah, that's still who I am.
And what about the merch then? How important is it for it to give your sponsors a platform and all that? Like buying shirts and people coming to buy, and that is actually a massive part of the program, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's huge, and Ryan does like nearly all of our merch stuff. Pretty much does do all our merch stuff, which I think he quite enjoys as well. I know it's a bit of a pain in the ass for him at times, but I think he enjoys that side of it, and he does a really good job of it. But yeah, it seems like in the last 5 years that I've been racing has just gone up another level, you know what I mean? Like the amount of people buying stuff at High Limit and Warrnambool and places like that is just insane. And, Callum's doing an amazing thing with that at the moment, which is, he's definitely leading the pack with that side of things, which is cool, and it's a good bar to set for other people to chase. So I don't know that many people would sell as much merch as him, but at least you can put it out there, and yeah, the more that we get Speedway out there, the better it is.
Is there anything new coming in the merch? Like, is there, obviously you got your shirts and stuff like that. Do you just know anything else coming?
Yeah, there'd be new stuff. I don't know all of it all the time.
Where's these cars coming?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, don't
You've
ask
had
Ryan
my money for ages.
Don't ask Ryan about that. He was getting burnt up about that in Darwin. But no, yeah, I think there'll be new merch. There'll be always, every year there's new merch that Ryan does. And I think he's doing a little bit more this year, which is pretty good. I mean, he did the Darwin stuff, which was pretty cool.
Those shirts were sick too.
Yeah, that's right. He did a really good job. So, no, I think there'll definitely be, he might be pushing a little harder this year. I know he's got another merch van now, so I think I've got to go fit that out with shelves and stuff, which is great. It's another job. But no, that'll, he'll probably push it a little harder this year.
So you guys get into practice then before, or are you just rolling out for Palooza?
Yeah, we'll try to do both practices if weather permitting. We usually try and do both practices. We have done just about every year. I think it's really good, especially if you've got a new car, good shake it down. And most other times it was just for Dayne to just get back, do a couple of laps before the first race. I think that's really important. But I mean, we did Darwin, but it's laps are laps, right? Like,
that's another tick in the box for the Motorplex too. Just be able to practice.
Yeah,
like it's phenomenal that other people roll out, and the first time anyone can drive a car is the race. Like you guys get hot laps at least, but like say if you run something in Albany, the first time you get to go is race one. No, sweet. All right, that's it. I reckon we're done. You guys got to play your sponsors. I forgot mine again. I'll make it up to them. Technically, the season hasn't started for me, but I need to improve on that. I reckon I'm 50-50 for thanking them. But I'll sort something out in the social media stuff. Bunbury Toyota, QV, Jolly Good Auto Electrics, Platinum Tiger Insurance, TPE Group, All Talk Engineering, Oakley Construction, BKB Plumbing and Gas, RBS Project Solutions. Yeah, cheers, boys. Done. Thanks, lads.
Thanks,
really
mate.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Cheers.
No worries.
See yous.